Hey, what's up guys? It's Chris from Daily Tech, and today we're talking about the Apple Watch. The new one, the old one, should you get one? And let me just start off by saying that I'm a huge Apple Watch fan. I've had the original sport version since it first became available, and I've basically worn it just about every day since then. Now, I've always liked it for the messaging and notification features. Those are huge for me, but I actually feel like WatchOS 3 is a pretty big game changer. Now personally, I decided not to upgrade to the Series 1 or the Series 2, the two new versions, just because WatchOS 3 is enough of an upgrade for me. The biggest pull on me to upgrade would be that new ceramic body, but it's not quite enough to get me to pull the trigger, and plus I don't really want to spend that much when I have a working Apple Watch already. But call me though as soon as the ceramic iPhone becomes available. And another thing though, I'm not really into swimming, and while I do work out and hit the treadmill and stuff, I'm not really a huge fitness nut. Now, I love having all that extra data about myself that the Apple Watch collects for health and fitness reasons, but I don't find that kind of tracking particularly motivating on any fitness device, whether it's a Fitbit or the Apple Watch. At the end of the day, I have as much time as I have to get the things done that I need to do, and getting a nag on my wrist periodically is not gonna change that or add extra time to my day. So the rest of this video is gonna be me trying to explain to you why I think you should go get the Apple Watch in any of its iterations, whether it's the new Series 1 or the Series 2 or the old original that you found on eBay somewhere, because WatchOS 3 just made this device awesome. And that's where we're gonna start. WatchOS 3 is basically gonna work about the same on any iteration of the Apple Watch that you end up owning, although it will go a little bit faster on the two new versions, Series 1 and Series 2, thanks to those dual core processors. So I feel like the new app dock is a pretty big deal. Having 10 favorite apps preloaded and ready to go at a moment's notice is really useful. This feature is so much better than glances, it's not even funny. So the apps on the dock do work quickly, even on my old original Apple Watch, and this is the feature that really helps the Apple Watch finally live up to its true potential. So let me give you a quick rundown of the Apple Watch apps that I'm liking and actually using now, and keep in mind that all of these existed pretty much before, but they were completely unusable before WatchOS 3. Now they're great. So the Hue app, I use this all the time. It works really well for controlling the lights in the studio or in my house. There's also an app called ETA, which tells me how long it's gonna take to get to some of my favorite places and if the traffic is good or bad. And then One Tap gives you the best route using your favorite mapping app. Deliveries is really great for tracking packages. Todoist is awesome for helping me keep track of everything that I want to do every day. Wells Fargo at Hand is a super practical app that lets me check my bank balance, whether it's in my personal or business accounts. And there's an app called Hindsight that's great for counting anything, whether it's water consumption or coffee or X amount of times that you do Y, whatever it is, you can count it with Hindsight. Momentum is great for building habits in a don't break the chain Jerry Seinfeld style. And BriefMe is the only news-related app that's even worth considering on the Apple Watch right now. And it just gives you the 10 top news stories at any given time in really short summaries. Glancify is an app that's really great for scraping the web for any kind of content that you want to keep updated on, but where there's not an already existing app. So I've actually been using this to track my YouTube subscriber count. So those are some of my favorites, and you should know that not all of the best Apple Watch apps live in the official App Store. So there's actually a ton that you can find other places on the web, including one of my favorites, which is Product Hunt. So aside from those apps, which I tend to use almost every day, there are a few that I really love using but don't use quite as often. I absolutely love paying with my Apple Watch at places like Whole Foods or Walgreens or even someplace like Vans, and there are more and more places popping up all the time that take Apple Pay. And I used to think the old way of boarding a plane was using a paper ticket, but now I feel like the old way is just using your phone. Once you've boarded a plane using nothing but your watch, it's really hard to go back. Another big new feature in WatchOS 3 is the ability to swipe through different watch faces. And this is actually a really good hack for being able to use multiple complications that wouldn't fit on just one screen. And of course, those complications are super minified versions of apps that you can just peek at without having to open up the app to get whatever info you're after. I mentioned earlier really liking notifications on the Apple Watch, so let me talk about that for just a second. You want to be careful that you just get the important notifications and weed out everything that's not important. If you don't, you're going to get frustrated or distracted or both, and that's a bad thing. For me, cutting out email notifications was a huge improvement. But among the notifications that I really like to get are security notifications. So I've got a Canary camera at home and a Ring Video Doorbell Pro, and I love being able to see who's out on my porch and what they're doing, or seeing what's going on inside my house, whether that's just my pets or making sure my family's okay if there's a babysitter or something like that. And messaging, which was already great, has also improved in WatchOS 3, thanks in large part to the handwriting recognition, which lets you write out full sentences. That works great, and it's a good addition to being able to send a quick emoji or a pre-populated quick reply. Now, other reviewers have been complaining about battery life and having to charge the Apple Watch every single day. That's really kind of a dumb complaint to me. It takes about 2 seconds, and I really love using the Apple Watch as my alarm clock in the morning. So it works out great for me. But one thing I could say about the Apple Watch is that it's not the toughest device, especially for something that you wear on your wrist. My original Apple Watch has already got lots of scrapes and scuffs just from everyday wear and tear. I don't even know how these happened or where they came from. I'm pretty sure I hit one on a treadmill or something at the gym, and other than that, I don't really know. So especially if you end up with a more expensive version of the watch, you want to be careful with it. The glass and the casing are both going to be susceptible to scrapes and scratches. Just a couple little gripes that I don't think is going to change anybody's mind. I wish you could dock more than 10 apps, because there's more than 10 apps that I would like to be using on a regular basis. And I also really wish that Apple would come out with the watch face that was nothing but complications. So 3 rows, 3 columns, 9 complications, that would be awesome. But overall, I'm really happy with the Apple Watch. So if you're considering getting the new Apple Watch, I would say go for it. Don't even hesitate. And I'm supposed to be getting the new TicWatch sometime soon, so make sure to hit subscribe if you want to hear my thoughts on that. Other than that, guys, I've been getting a lot of questions about the gear that I use, whether it's for YouTube and filming, or stuff in my office, or just the kind of tech that I use in my everyday life. If you want to check that stuff out, I've listed it all together down in the description, so look for that link. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Don't forget to check out Daily Tech, spelled daily, TEKK.com, and I'll catch up with you guys in the next video. Later.